Good morning and welcome to the Daily Echo. It is Monday, December 29th. For those of you that have been watching these last few days, we're focusing on goals. And I'm actually doing live 2 days in a row. So for those of you that have been giving me a hard time, that's 2 days in a row. We're going to try to do it every day this week. The title of today's Echoes is Wanna versus Gonna. And when we're talking about resolutions versus goals, resolutions are nothing more than things that we want to have. Many times we have no thought of the process of obtaining that. We typically live in a fantasy world with the wannas. It's very easy to sit in our recliners and think about that $1 million home or that beach home or that $1 million in our bank account or a lot of these things. And the dangerous part, we've talked about this in the past, is when we go there in our minds and we really live that dream. And there's books out there, movies that have told us, so all you got to do is think about it, it'll come to pass. And we're seeing a major problem with that at this time in life because people just think as long as I think about it, it's going to happen. The problem when you go to that fantasy world is your body does not really understand that it's not happening. And so you are going to release the same hormonal responses that you would if you actually lived there. So you'll have those highs that you would have potentially in living in that dream. The problem is you come back to reality, and reality many times is so far away from that dream you are living that major depression hits people. We talked about this in the previous Echo. There's over 350 million people that live in the United States, and there's about 150 million prescriptions for anxiety, anti-anxiety drugs, and antidepressants. So people's realities are not measuring up to the fantasies that they're building in their minds. We want to get away from the wanta or the wanna mentality. The difference between resolutions and goals is the gonna. I'm going to get it, but it's going to take a lot of work. So as you're evaluating the goals this week that you want to have, break down each thing that you want to have, but is it something that you're going to get? The only way you'll know that is if you break down the barriers. The reason you don't have it is there's something that is between you and that goal. And there's obstacles that you're going to have to tackle when you get there. There's reasons that you don't have it now. You need to identify those and figure out a plan. You don't have to have all the answers now, but you have to understand the work that it's going to require. You also need to be aware of where you're at. Sometimes I'll look and evaluate goals, even in my own life, where I put this huge goal and I'm so far away from it, and I put a 6-month timeline or a year timeline. It's great to want to get there, but you don't want to set yourself up for failure time and time again. We want realistic goals. We want to find where we're at and where we can achieve in a measurable period of time. And I'm not saying that your goals have to be mapped out 100% for the year. I always, in my own life, make sure that on January 31st, and usually every week for me, I'm reevaluating where I am. But I would say for everyone that's setting New Year's goals, quit calling them resolutions, have a date in the middle of January. I'd say the first week of January, every week to evaluate where you are in those. So that if you get off track a little bit, you say, okay, that's okay. I've got 365 days this year to tackle this. So let's get out of the wanna mentality and let's get into the gonna mentality. Have a terrific Monday or a magnificent Monday. We will be coming back to you again tomorrow morning on The Echo. Thanks as always for watching.